Oh, baby. That's it.
What's
That's
up?
dark. The hat and the hood.
You
That's
like it?
dark, man. It scares me a little bit.
I feel like a Londoner, you know. Especially you can't see my eyes. I
A
probably got a
London.
knife, you know.
Oh man, the media is very bad at representing what it's like
Hey, I
in
get the
other
same when
places.
I go to other
Yeah.
countries about America. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I see the news too, but that's not
No,
what
but
my
that's
my
true though.
life is like.
No,
What?
I'm joking. Yeah,
You're right though.
it's just like sensationalize. This is what we need, right? We need some of our own media to sensationalize what we're doing.
That's the
That's
whole dude. You
forget
gave it
all this
away.
other. Yeah,
That's actually the goal of native PHP. We're just doing this so that we have the infrastructure for our own
three,
media
one,
company.
three, one,
Yeah.
3, 1. Oh, it's gonna change the friggin' world.
This one's a dude. I was thinking about it. So I woke up late, like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you look like
Yeah,
you've been beaten
like an
around, like
old.
somebody been punching you in the face.
Yeah, I wish my life was that exciting.
I wish.
Um, I went
I don't
outside
want to
and I
know
was.
what you're into.
It's media.
Mm.
It's like 50 degrees. What's that? What is that? 15 or so Celsius, something like that.
Yes, yeah. Why not? Let's say
Yeah, we'll
that.
go with that. It's chilly, but not cold. And I'm
Chilly.
outside and just getting some fresh air for a minute, and it's beautiful. It's like you can tell spring is really starting finally, even though it's chilly. It's the birds are twerking or whatever they called. Um, and I was
Twitching,
thinking,
I think, is what they're doing. Twitching.
twitching, yes,
Yeah,
twittering. They were
or
twittering,
tweaking. Or
tweaking,
was
twerking. They were twerking.
the
No, they were
no,
shaking their
there's a
butts and stuff.
it's all the Claude words. Scurrying was the one that I saw this morning, and I was like, "That's brilliant." That's scurrying.
My favorite is razzmatazz. I want the shirt. I want
Yeah.
razzmatazzing. Anyway, they I was thinking like each one of these releases, each one of these major and minor releases, I felt like
Major,
get
not major.
I'm pregnant for whatever weeks, months. And
Oh
like
gosh.
by
Yeah.
now, I feel like I'm giving birth to my 5th child. So it's like it still hurts, but it's not as bad as I remember like version 1.1. I we should go back and look at the changelog of like what that was, because I just remember pouring so much and getting so much hype about it, so much excitement. And then version 2, of course, and then version 3, obviously. And now this one is like I would argue is the biggest like performance and optimization upgrade. All the internal tooling we did with the script work and automating that, and back support for 8.3 to 8.5 for PHP, ICU on
I see you,
iOS, and
baby.
ICU. I mean, yeah, there's a ton. I just told Claude, hey, we need a release notes for this. I just had to go through. I'm like, just keep it short, bullet points only.
Mm.
So I've got that. I've got it. We're ready. So
Cool.
this is fun. This is a good one. I'm excited about this.
I'm excited. I've been through it yesterday and today. I mean, I've tested a lot of things. I don't feel like I've tested everything, but dude, it's it's bloody good. Bloody good.
Yeah, I like there's I'm there, it's impossible to predict if there's going to be oversight anywhere. You just have to assume that there is. But I think that it would only be minor oversights on
Minor,
little
minor.
things.
Major, major,
Um,
minor, minor. There we go. We got it.
that's the right thing.
Uh,
So
I did a couple of things this morning which should improve. Well, I said, like minor improvements to like what we were talking about the other day. The version checking. So I got to this place where I was just like, that whole trying to check composer files is just not going to work, right? The composer JSON declared version is, it's very suspect at the best of times what the intent is of the developer. And there's nothing aside of like a code change that happens somewhere deep within Composer's metadata that it generates for you. There's no actual like value that it says this is the version of PHP that you tried to use when you were installing your dependencies, or that you were using when you installed your dependencies. There's nothing that we can lean on concretely from any other tooling that tells us what version of PHP the developer is actually running.
Okay, I just thought of something, but continue.
So I mean, it might not be the best solution, but what I've ended up with is kind of what we have on desktop, where we just look at the current version that's running in the CLI, and we try to install that. You know, we match that
Mhm.
for the binaries. But in addition to that, I'm now creating this like installed file inside the native PHP /binaries folder that just records the PHP version that we've installed into the shell applications at the point that it's done that. So follow the journey.
Yep.
You have 8.4 in your CLI, like your development environment is using PHP 8.4 something. So when you run native install, it's going to go and try and find the latest 8.4 version that we've built, download that, copy the binary files and the header files and whatever else it does into the shell applications. And then it's going to write this file that says, this is the version of PHP from the zips. So like if you're running 8.4.18 locally, and the latest version that we've got in the zips is 8.4.19, we're going to download 8.4.19 for you. And we're going to install that into the apps. And that's what's going to get recorded in this installed file. So then it's just going to have this one line of, 8.4.19. And so then what happens? We've now got a concrete, this is the version of PHP that has been installed into those Swift and Kotlin applications. So we can check, like, is there a new version since you installed this? So at runtime, so when you do native run now, it will check and go and fetch the JSON file from R2 and actually go do some comparison and see if there's a newer number, and tell you there's a newer number, and like you could update. And it does even more than that, because now I've got that number, I can say concretely if the version of PHP in the CLI has changed, which will force you to do a composer update, and therefore you might end up with mismatch, like we were talking about the other day. I can now say you must install again to get the latest, like the right version to match what your composer update is going to do.
I get the other parts. So what I had just thought was, technically, it's irrelevant what the host machine has running.
It's not though. No, because what happens when it's mismatched is the problem. So if you install composer dependencies with 8.4 and then you run, but you've installed, let's say 8.5.
Oh, because we do the composer install on the host machine. We don't do composer install with the binaries included. That we'd have to put composer into it. We can't do that.
You don't want to do that.
So then what about Bifrost? Because those run very specific versions.
So the thing that we do differently on Bifrost, very specifically, because we already ran into this a while ago, is we don't do the platform check when we're doing the composer install. We don't ever do a composer update. So
it's just install.
it's just
Right.
install.
But
yeah, I guess we need something that says exactly which version of
you
the
didn't merge this
binaries
already,
we
did
need.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no. Why? What? No, that's made more work for me. I have to do now.
No, we'll work that out. But I think the thing, what it's going to lead to is maybe that installed version file needs to be somewhere else, not in that
Because it's
folder.
get ignored.
Yeah, and then we can tie that and go, okay, well, it's this version of the binaries that we need to fetch down when we're doing it in Bifrost.
What are we avoiding by not using the composer.json though? Just the declared version that's there that they've installed.
Because it's not, that declared version has got nothing to do with the version of PHP that you're actually running. So you're just saying like, I want to say in my composer JSON that my application requires this minimum level of PHP, for example, or this very specific version of PHP, which you can do. But that actually doesn't change any, like if you meet the requirements to do the install of those dependencies, Composer will play happily with that. But then if something changes, like if you're using Herd and you switch PHP versions, which we bumped into many times because of what we're doing, and other people could do this too, you could switch into a version and then you run the install of your application, like you native run, and it's suddenly behind the scenes, we've done a composer something that tries to, well, even if nothing, it's gonna just blast through that, and then you get this version mismatch warning in your app, so your app doesn't load, and you just get a nasty PHP error that just says version compatibility warning, because you might have installed a different set of binaries to the version of your local CLI, which was used to create the composer dependency tree.
Yeah, okay, I see that, kinda. I think that I mean the default right now with Laravel 12 is 8.2, and 8.3 for Laravel 13 is what will be in the composer JSON. So for new apps as of 2 days ago, 3 days ago, that'll already be 8.3. If you just run install, it's going to pull in 8.3 latest patch and you're good to go. And whenever everything you're doing is going against that, and you haven't had to think about or change anything or whatever. It's different for Laravel 12 because we don't build the 8.2 binaries. But that's a small documentation or detection on installation, and just say, hey, the minimum version supported is 8.3.
But again, that sort of that makes the point, really. It's like even if it was 8.2 and we pick up 8.3, the developer might be using on their machine 8.5, and they're then composer installing, the constraint in their composer JSON might be hat 8.2, in which case they're
8.5
fully
will work,
able
yeah.
to use 8.5 to install dependencies.
Gotcha.
That's fine. But when they come to run, now the runtime environment is using 8.3, but their composer dependencies have been built for 8.5, and composer throws a fit about that.
So then I think what we'd have to do for Bifrost is have either we're detecting that file, it'd have to live outside, or during like the ship, we have a selector, which doesn't make sense because it's going to be the same pretty much every time you do it. And it's just another thing to have to.
You don't want to have to choose it, yeah.
And then for implementing that on Android side, we've only built an image with, I think it's 8.3 or 8.4. I think they're both on 8.4. So we have to build more images.
No, that's what I'm saying. On Bifrost, we already bumped into that, and we've solved that with the ignore platform Rex flag.
So what's it do? What's it going to use for PHP when you run the composer install?
It doesn't do anything. Like, well, that's going to use 8 point whatever we've got installed on the box to do that.
But it's not gonna.
But that's a Composer install, not a Composer update.
Okay.
So that doesn't update Composer's cached like logic around
No, I get
which
that.
version of PHP are you actually targeting.
But if you're using 8.3 in the CLI, but everything was built against 8.4, isn't there going to be an issue?
Well, I mean, that's partly what this whole setup is trying to defend against. Like if you've gone through the process of installing your dependencies locally, running your application locally, and we've passed those checks, then in theory, if you commit that and push it up and Bifrost picks it up and you do a build in Bifrost, then it should be fine.
Even if Bifrost was using 7.6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how that's working right now, because somebody like we've been running 8.3 on the box and people are using 8.4 because that's the only version we've built up to now, right? For native PHP. So
okay. Then it should.
I think
it should just
that
flow through.
The only consideration with that is that it's well, yeah, actually, I don't. There's something about that I don't understand in the ignore platform Rex and how that behaves. But
you know what? We haven't said good morning to anybody.
I haven't. Sorry, I dived straight into that.
No, that's okay. But we should bring it back, and not to like skirt around this. We'll talk about this and figure it out. We should figure that part out. Yeah, just do a search, see if ignore platform Rex, like does it? You run Composer install. Is it gonna just it's irrelevant what version you have in CLI for the packages that are being installed. I think it's just like download, install whatever's in the Composer lock, right? Like it just does that. It just does the work. But
yep.
Look at this. Look who showed up today, dude.
3, 1. Vince.
It's Vince Mitchell.
1.
Vince, where the heck have you been, dude? We've been talking so much smack about you. Yeah.
3, 1. 3, 1.
What's up, RK? Raj. Sonali sent me a very endearing message the other day. She said, Shane, I saw your video with all of your Coke Zeros in your refrigerator and your elephants. She's like, pay attention to your health. Don't drink so many sodas.
Don't drink elephants. Yeah.
This right here is my third one this week, just so everybody knows. This is my third Coke Zero this week. So
his week started 20 minutes ago.
It did start at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Yep. So thank you for the concern for sure. Look who else we got.
Esser
has been out. He's missed a couple live streams. What's new here? We're rolling 3.1 out today. We're very excited about it. We're going to talk about the all of the cool changes and what it's bringing. Did you get the answer yet?
I'm working on it.
You know that this would have been what's one of those oversight things. This would have been one of the things we'd have to figure out even without the change that you made, because if somebody is locally against 8.3 and we're running 8.4 on for iOS builds, then we'd have to figure that out. So it's a good one.
So let's say if I run a Composer update on my dev machine that uses 8.4, and then I run Composer install on a machine with 8.3,
will there be a package mismatching of some sort?
Yeah, so I think normally that would throw a problem when you try and do the Composer install, or maybe it's not Composer install. Maybe it's just any runtime things that you try to do. Like if you try to run an artisan command, the very next thing you'll see is a composer error telling you that you're on 8.4 and your thing was 8.3 or whatever. But it might be like only if it's backwards, if like you built for 8.4 and you're now running 8.3, that it's problematic, which is like Bifrost. It does say the cleanest solutions tell Composer to pretend it's running on PHP 8.3, even though your dev machine has 8.4, which you can do in a config in the Composer JSON. Which is a bit heavy-handed in my view. But
say that again.
So it says you can add a config to your composer.json to say explicitly, I want to build for PHP 8.3, let's say. So
if you remove the hat from the require.
No, it's something else. It's another, because that's a constraint to tell Composer like what your application code is capable of supporting. But this is actually like make Composer pretend that you're using PHP, a specific version of PHP and not the one that you're actually using, which is a slightly different problem to solve. And then it says the alternative is you can pass it as a flag without modifying composer.json. So you can just do ignore platform recs.
I mean, I'll just test it after the stream and patch it on the CI instructions if we have to.
I think we might have an issue to resolve on. Yeah, actually, it's funny. So Vince has said it in Discord. There's been a few reports of some issue this morning on Bifrost with credentials for iOS not being found. Oh, and for Android. It's like something I've updated has clearly broken something.
You better go fix that. I'll entertain everybody.
I mean,
what did you do, Simon? What did you do?
The things that rolled out are like super straightforward.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
What? So let me.
Vince has said.
Where am I seeing this?
On that chat.
Vince,
in the
talk in the chat,
channel.
man.
He's like, Bifrost bug fixes on the live stream.
I mean, that's fine. I don't mind that.
Maybe yes. Let me see what the issue is.
Let me see. Credential error when trying to ship my project.
And we're not getting any exception about that, so it's getting captured.
What credential error? All right, let me go look. You want me to share my screen?
Sure.
Why not? YOLO. There you are, Vince. Hi, Vince. Share screen. Share entire screen. Keep notifications turned on. Yes. Just kidding. That would be nice if it like popped up and said, do you want to keep your do you want to turn off your notifications when sharing your screen,
Close the little window. Yep. Hide the little banner at the bottom.
Yep. So we got 2 failed builds this morning.
It's funny because I ran a build immediately after pushing some updates and it was fine. I think it was fine.
Let's see. All right, so let's see what this guy's got here. This one failed.
Yeah, I managed to build this morning and it took 5 minutes and it was done. That was why.
Took 5 minutes for what? For what? iOS or Android?
Android.
Android should take more than 5 minutes. You sure that it actually built?
6 minutes actually. 5 minutes and 56
That's all right,
seconds.
Yeah, that's. I know it sounds, but it's true.
I mean, it says it's got to the end, completed, artifact uploaded, blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah,
that
it
sounds
went all the way.
This one's interesting. This one doesn't. Oh, that's a jump failure. Okay, that's different.
Are you just on live stream jumping into people's accounts?
Yes.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Well, then I don't know why not.
I mean,
but,
like,
right.
do it with consent. The thing,
it's in our terms of service.
understand.
They already consented.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, that we'll talk about that separately. The the
I don't see.
I'm not getting like an error. I'm not seeing any logs.
Hold on a second, Vince. Where you had a failure here? And
I don't think Vince.
I don't see.
Said it,
oh, then all right. Well, it's hard to chase phantoms. An iOS build that failed. That could be unrelated to any changes you've made. Could be. In fact, I see since 4:30. All right. There's been one iOS build failure, which is one you triggered, I think, on our account for the driver's head.
Yeah.
And then,
but that was because it actually didn't have credentials, because I think you moved them to something else.
I believe that's true. Yep. And then,
yeah,
the only other iOS builds. So there's one yesterday at 4:30 p.m. and that was successful.
So I don't think it's iOS specifically, because somebody's reported in Discord.
And then
when trying to build Android or iOS.
Yeah, that's a separate issue. It's got to be, because someone said this morning at 7:51, I'm getting the same error. I don't think that it's true. I'm not seeing it here.
I don't believe you.
Well, I don't see the builds, Let me look at more here.
Well, no, this is the thing. I don't think it's kicking off the builds. I think it's actually preventing them from starting, because it's from what they're saying, I'm currently getting a credential error when trying to ship my project. I'm getting the same. Me too. So like, that's 4 people saying that they're getting a.
What does that mean, a credential error? Like a 403 when they're trying to kick off a build?
I don't know. I actually don't know. This so let's just go. Some users are reporting that they're getting a credential error when trying to create new builds.
Oh, I got it just now.
See any
why
log.
Why? What?
We don't see any logs for this. Does it just say credential error?
Yep. Credential error. Something went wrong while building this project.
Something went wrong while building this project. That's so weird, because I created a build that succeeded and it was fine. Like,
I just tried it from on the kitchen sink, logged in as me.
Logged in as you. That shouldn't make a difference. Okay, well, Claude's on the case, and I'll update as we find something. But yeah, there's nothing in the logs that suggests like
it's being caught. It's an exception that's being caught.
Yeah, but I mean, like when we do that, we should definitely have a like write to the log file or something, you know, so that we get some traceability.
Sure. Let me think of something here. Let me pull down.
Gimme. That's fine. That's fine. When did this person say? This is not good. 10:55.
What's not good?
I mean, I feel like this is a very boring stream right now.
I don't think so.
We're just like quietly staring at our
Nah,
screen. Sorry, everybody.
I'm not.
Okay, what's Claude come back with? The credential property starts as null. It's only populated when the user selects a credential from the dropdown, but the build method always requires a credential, regardless of build type. Yeah.
Did I? Oh, I might not have selected that actually. Let me see. No, I did select it though. So it's not. It's not getting. This might be a weird Blaze thing.
Oh. That's very interesting. So that is very interesting. The thing that I did do was upgrade Flux and Livewire, and we added Blaze. So you're suggesting if I take that and I do that, it's somehow like not passing the value back to the Livewire component?
That's what it's seeming like. Maybe we should. I'm local now in code, so I'll share my screen because it's better than like me looking like this for 10 minutes. What's going on? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Share. Boom. Hide. Rockstar. Get it. Composer. Update. So this is the Bifrost. The Bifrost code. What version of PHP are we running on? 8.4, I would imagine.
8.4, yeah. Why? Let's dig through the changes. Not the build factory. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I need to pull. I'm getting a 404. Damn it. All right, let me see this credential. That's what we need.
That's got nothing to do with it.
It's not finding the credentials in the database. So that's what it's looking like on the surface. Or this credential isn't actually being passed. That's what I actually think. That
Yeah, I think that's
that
what
property.
it is. It's not passing that value in.
But also, I'm doing like, I'm just like trying to DD this before that, and I'm getting nothing. Let me see something. DD now. Something different. So that's not right. That's not right at all. Hang on. Show builds count launch checklist.
Ship it.
Oh, it signed me out. You bastard. This is
That'll
fun.
be why that's not working.
Oh, I should have 403 instead of 404. That's not right either.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, that's that. That's that. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, you know what? I bet you defaulted to, this was intentionally done the way that I did it. And I don't know if you changed this. I intentionally or not, I'm pretty sure you did. Do you see my screen?
I do, yeah.
This is selected by default, but it only changes when on change. So it's intentionally left as select as being the initial selected, and then you have to select this. Now, whether that's the right way to do it or not is not the point. People aren't able to select this. It doesn't change. It's not reading the value because it's not being changed to that.
Confirm that's what's going on. Ah, okay. So we're not setting the value in the component to the first one until it changes.
Correct.
Okay, so I now need to like understand why that has suddenly changed its behavior, because I didn't knowingly change that.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing a change to that file at all. So I think what's actually going on, wait, create team, flux button or link, blah, blah, blah.
Select the distribution
button. It's not that. It's not in any of the changes. So I think it's a Flux thing under the hood. I think it's a Flux update that has changed its behavior.
So this disabled, yeah, that's right. And the value is null. This should be like string or like actually null, not the string null for the value. And like maybe even like selected, or is it checked? It's selected for options.
With the native select, the browser auto selects the first non-disabled option and sends its value, but Flux's custom select on boot controllable reads this L value for a UI select customer. This doesn't seem like Flux at all, but receives null from wire model, converts it to an empty string. placeholder has value equals null, the string null, not value equals blank. So nothing matches. The select visually shows the placeholder, but the livewire property remains null, even when the user sees the credential listed. If they don't explicitly click to change, stays null. That's exactly what you said.
So this one actually for Android doesn't have that select option. Oh, it does. It does. It's here. I'm sorry.
No, so in Flux 1, the native select would auto select the first non-disabled option and sync that back to Livewire.
That's breaking. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
upgrade to Flux V2 broke that implicit behavior. There's a bug in the iOS select, like additionally, there's a bug in the iOS select line 183. Select placeholder is inside the for else, so it only renders when credentials exist and it repeats before each credential. Yeah, yes, let's fix that repeating select, but also,
I mean, technically, we can just get rid of the option and make it a radio group. Because like how many people for now, I'm not saying indefinitely, but there's only ever one typically anyway. So I mean, there's literally only one right now because we only support one type.
I don't want to change it too much. Yeah, I think making it a drop down is probably kind of the most flexible approach if people have got loads. And I haven't, we could check, I guess, and just see how many any one person has got. But,
yeah.
And it's probably only ever going to be like,
one.
one for each. So,
so what is Cloud saying this the fix is?
It says the simplest approach would be change the placeholder value equals null to value equals blank, just like double quotes on both of the selects, so it properly represents nothing selected. And then also to add validation in the build function to show a clear please select a credential message instead of the generic credential error.
It should be a validation on that form item.
So it's doing that, all of that now. But if you've just changed it to a blank, then you should.
No, you should. Same.
No, but that's fine. The browser will select the default. But
all right, so that went through there. So let's go here.
If you should be able to see it in this if you were dumping this.
Oh, need an L.
Take the L.
Null. Still doing the same thing.
Okay, so let me just see what it's done.
I think if it has to be like not disabled. No offense to anyone disabled. I think I'm disabled in ways. That will work. That will work. So if you just keep this, we just validate that this isn't null, right? Like take the disabled off from the first one, keep the value as null or whatever, and then just check if it's null to validate.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know the goal of that is to, if they did have multiple, that we force them to select one, right? But by making it disabled, the browser is auto selecting the first available one, but it's not updating Livewire state because that doesn't force a round trip on Livewire.
Which means, I mean, you could in the mount detect if there's only one, select it, but there's one for iOS and there's one for Android. So which one do you select? Because you don't know that until they've selected, which could be on the updated.
The problem actually there, when you look at it like that way, in the show, we're doing the query. We're in the blade view, we're doing the query to get, and that's that's hinky. It's like it should be, that should be happening in the component, and we choose the first one and set the value, and then we render the blade view with the state, not working out what the data of the view should be.
Where is that?
Line, like look at line 182, for example. We do project credentials where, so it's like querying from the blade view, which that's a bit gross.
Yeah, it is. This is the most complex component though in everything. There's a lot going on, a lot of like yeah. I made the decisions I did at the time because they were the right decisions at the time to make. So I'm not defending that at all, but
no,
I mean,
I don't have an issue with it. I think I would have done the same. It's just like,
I mean, if you extract this to
something now,
if you extract it to a computed property, it's exactly the same logic. You're just moving it. So
yeah, but the difference is the timing of when you can, what you can do with the state of that thing. So if it was inside the class of the component, then I've got that state in the component, and I can say I want to pick the first one off this list as the value of the select, and then when it renders, it's going to go, oh well, this is the one, this is the current one. So
let's try it. Let's do a what is it? This, let's make it computed. This iOS credentials, and make that a, let's go down here. Let's make a computed iOS credentials, and it's going to return this project. And then another one for Android. This is pretty fun. I like this.
So for people who are actually struggling with building, if you've only got one credential, there's no way to fake this, right? You can't deselect the credential and reselect it.
No, not if there's only one. That's the problem. Yeah. And I don't think this is actually going to fix it, but it does move things around a little bit.
You've still not got it disabled, so that's
right.
Definitely going to set the state correctly.
Which I'm still fine with, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you were thinking about accessibility, then
so so we can say if there's only one, we can say, would that be in computed? No, you wouldn't make that in computed. Where would you put that?
It'd be, where are you running the query now?
Now it's in here.
In a computed property.
Which is for the, this is for the query. And then
that's only going to get called when you try and get the iOS credentials property, right? Because it's not a real property.
Yep.
I think you have to do it in mounted. Like whatever the boot up, because you're trying to set this, like you're trying to set the state for this for this component.
What you could do, I mean, you could say like, I see what you're saying. I don't know if I would do it in mounted because you don't. There's a lot of ways to skin this. It could be in mounted, but you could say like ios creds equals this, right? And then you could set some other state like this. If ios creds is not empty, no, count equals 1, then say this. I just think it's in my way. This credential equals the first one, and then return ios creds.
But that's only going to run. Yeah.
You don't want it to necessarily run. What if they don't even have Android credentials, or vice versa?
It's one query for a very small set of data. We know there's not going to be more than a few for most people. So
no, that's true. But what's wrong with it being here besides the fact that it's like not computed?
I think it's going to be a timing issue about the state. Like when you try and check it, I don't know if it's going to update the field correctly. Like it might set the state, but it might not actually update the view. Maybe I'm.
So that's right. Let's see. That's project doesn't exist. So that's down the line some more. So it got past it. Yeah. So this just doesn't exist in my database. So it did pass that. In fact, you can see.
Okay, that's good.
I'm not saying it's the right way to do it necessarily, but this should be 3, I think it was, or whatever. Not null, essentially. And I didn't change anything in the select, right? So we're just saying if it's 1, then just make this credential, which is, the state for that property. So the chat's probably going crazy, like, don't do it that way, do it this way. Like, I'm not changing that, and I click that, and there it is.
Let's see what people have said. Did you know you can option click on the clock on the top right of your screen to quickly turn on? Oh, that's nothing. Finding me, blah, blah, blah. Came to see you. Hey, that's nice. I came to see you. Oh. Hello from Eastern EU.
Hello.
Nobody knows. Just set the default value for the model prop.
So this isn't right.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the problem. That doesn't work because it's like you're saying, it sort of forces you to calculate everything up front, which is where I was going. But so just to give you some confirmation, I guess, Claude has moved it all to a single prop, so available credentials, which actually makes sense, and just swap it on a match based on build type rather than having 2 separate functions, because you have one query which does project credentials where device is device, like iOS or Android.
Let's see.
Based
Show
on
me.
Yeah. I'm coming. Yeah, come on. Window, screen, that one. Does this make sense? Here, so it's done a computed property, available credentials, match to choose the right one, and query based on that. So it's the same query, basically.
Where are you setting this credential? Because that's the actual issue.
So it's doing
if it's only 1, right?
Update build type, select first credential. So if it's doing any of these update build types, it's setting the credential.
So test it.
Let's see. Huh? Why didn't the preview open? Oh no, it's a little bit quirky. It's because I'm looking at that. Don't spam me. I don't know why I ever use my real email address for this, but
You're local.
yeah. Oh, I don't have any credentials in this one. Do we have a factory for just like faking credentials?
No, I pull in the real database.
Oh, don't say that.
Too late. What do you want to do? That's the right way to do it, though. That's what you do on a preview, whatever.
I'm adding that to the list of things we talk about after this. Cool.
This is way more convoluted than you think it is, I think.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that went down the line some more.
That's just because of my, not that. I just want to make sure that that's not happening before it would do the bit that it needs to do.
No, it's past that already.
It. Fine, cool, that's it. I don't think it's necessarily more or less convoluted. The solution feels the same as what we were just talking about. It's slightly less code.
No. To build a factory and seeders and all that stuff, there's a lot involved. It's things like you can't mock, like the GitHub credentials and.
I know, but it did it. We already had one, and it's figured it out, or it did something. So this is how I got the credential to even be there.
So let's commit that, I think, and I'll give it a run. But see, like, I wish that.
See, I love that about Claude. It just has kind of gone. It's because of Boost as well. It's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I can use Tinker to do this. Yeah. Cool.
This has nothing to do with 3.1.
I know.
Oh, it kind of it does. Well, no, it doesn't.
Well, because we were talking about Bifrost, and then I saw that message, and I was like, we probably should fix that. I mean, it's good because people are going to try it hopefully right away, and they're going to bump into issues if we didn't sort this out. So that would only just become another thing to sort out.
Yes, repair. It's a Flux select. That was the issue. He upgraded. We upgraded to the latest Flux. Is it 2 Flux? Well, it already was Flux 2, I think. Pretty sure it was Flux 2. But and what was it that they changed inside of Flux for that? It's ignoring the first null select and selecting the first one, but it's not changing the state inside of the Livewire model.
I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm trying to fathom, like, what was it actually doing before? Because it's not.
Before it was taking the first one that was null, and it forced you to select the first actual one.
So somehow, even though it was disabled, we were able to update the state of the select and make it show that it was on the select option, like the first option that's actually disabled.
Which, isn't that just the way HTML works anyway, even if it's a disabled?
No. So
then how is it working? What was it? Let me look at
the disabled. A disabled item in a select won't be selected by default.
If it's the first one, I think it will be.
No, the browser doesn't select it by default. So it'll just be like a blank if it was the only one. But as soon as there's an actual option that's not disabled, that becomes the first one that gets selected.
Then how is that working the way that it was? That's
I don't
exactly how it
know.
was. Well, that's what
So
I'm looking at too, is to see.
there must be
Mobile.
some like we're setting the state at a certain point in time and it wasn't matching the value now for some reason. Something got cleaned up under the hood a little bit better and it meant that. Yeah, come on.
So that is, I'm looking at the history. I mean, that's exactly what it was back in January, February.
Mm-hmm.
It was the markup didn't change. It was a single option outside of the for else that was disabled. The value is null. The value is null as a string, though, and I think that has a lot to do with it. That is what it was. That's exactly what it was. I was checking for that string. I left it as a string because of that issue. Because if you pass it as colon value equals null, that passes nothing and it skips it. That's exactly what it was.
But again, none of that has changed as any of the pieces that I've done.
No, but I think Flux has changed.
Definitely. It's definitely something that's changed in Flux about how it's handling
I want to
maybe
see
the comparison or whatever, but that's annoying. That's actually very annoying.
Delete me as an HTML5 boilerplate. Let's see. I want to play with selects. I'll share my screen on this. You guys want to see the Bifrost fund, Mitchell? Yeah, we're figuring it out. It's cool.
Or
not
Bifrost.
What we, huh?
Bifrost.
Bifrost.
Bifrost. Bifrost.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so I'm just going to play with a select for a second. So this is just an HTML, whatever. Where's index.html? Cool. And let's pop this open in here. There it is. All right, so let's do, I just want like get this thing out of my face. Select. Option. Disabled, and then not disabled. And this one is missing a label, probably label equals, are we disabled? Was ID? Oh, it's ID, right?
What are you trying to?
Label for equals select.
I think you should stop writing code anymore. Like, this is
why? I haven't done it in so long, man. I got to practice.
I know.
I'm using the pressure of the live stream to make it to force you to do it.
I think if you just stick the label around the select, it'll you don't need the ID.
A new label. Delect. That's what it was.
Delectable. It's.
Are we disabled? It's sometimes. All right. Option. So this is disabled, and that's fine. And then the value is null as a string, which is fine. And then this value is 1 or something. It doesn't matter. ABC. Right?
Yeah.
So the ABC. First one, not disabled. So why?
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. I think what must have been happening is in some way, when with the value being a string of null, like an actual string of null, not like HTML content of null. It was matching before, and it was moving it was explicitly moving the selected item. So if you put the selected flag on the disabled one, so don't remove disabled, but say selected, and then refresh the browser.
Yep.
Right. But the that's all sorts of weird doing it that way. But
I know.
like
Right.
what must have been happening before is we were updating the state in the component, and it was saying, oh, match with one of the values, and the value, like it was saying null matched null in some basic way, and going, okay, well then move it to this disabled one, which would then force the user to select the other option. Yeah. But something changed that made it so that it doesn't match against just the string null anymore. And that is why it's pre-selecting the first value, which now doesn't match the state, but it's not updating the state because it's happening by browser default behavior and not updating Livewire itself. So
did you commit this? Did you push?
it's in a PR now, which I'm just about to merge.
So in the meantime, let's talk about version 3.1. Now that we've lost everybody off the stream, there's 20 people
they're
here.
still there. They're just like, oh, this is
maybe this was entertaining.
Music.
Yeah. I like live coding stuff anyway. I like paying attention to that, and so I don't know if anybody else does, but I do.
I mean, there's definitely a way that we can make that more fun for everybody if we have to do it again. But sorry about that. That was good. Unexpected.
Whether it was good content or not, it was good business for us. Like we needed that. Yeah. So we're going to merge 3.1 and we're going to tag it.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
One sec. I've got this like hanging
dude,
thing that I was going to do.
Break at one time. Let's break as much as at one time.
On a Friday. Come on. Let's break it all.
Let's do something on the NativePHP site. Let's change our Stripe keys and nativephp.com.
No. Yeah, let's go for it. Like we can do follow-up releases for anything, so it's fine. The only thing that I was going to add that I'd made a note of, which we don't have to do, is that checking the minimum SDK against the plugins minimum SDKs.
Oh yeah, I did. I did some work. I'm in that space now, so I can push that up not long from now. I think that's like a feature. It's kind of necessary, but it's not like a breaking or like we're fixing anything.
No, it's not. I think it'll just
developer experience stuff,
But yeah, potentially catch people out at some point if you
here we go.
The minimum
3.1. It's awaiting approval. Do you want to approve it, or do you want me to just say nah?
I mean, what do you need as approval? I approve. You want the formal one in GitHub?
Done.
Do it.
Squash and merge. Bypass rules and merge. Squash. Ching chong. Got it. All right. Now let's go. I'm going to leave the branch. Well, we can delete that because I've got it locally anyway. I like cleaning it up. And then let's go code. Let's go. We should have I could have prepped this beforehand. Hey, 753 stars. We're getting close to 1,000.
That's we were close to 1,000 when we got 1.
That's true.
We're just closer. Yeah. No, just hit generate release notes. That will put that in for you. Cool. Ship it.
Oh, I created a whole thing. We don't need that though. Well, I had all this other stuff.
Oh, is that what you meant by release notes?
Yeah.
Oh no, if we've done that on the website, I wouldn't worry about it here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Done, dude. I just clicked the button.
That's it. It's out.
Hey, it's out. Yeah, what is that? Where do I? Oh, on Discord they have that.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. All right, so that's that. There's some other things though. We got docs. We've got the docs. So let's go to what is this? NativePHP. .com. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Mobile 3.1 docs.
That's that. Do I have your approval?
You are approved.
Woo!
I mean, we went through them a little bit the other day, and I've been through them very, very scanny, but we'll refine them anyway. I think this is good enough.
I think it's fun. There's also an article that got launched 10 minutes ago. I don't know if you knew this. So
Holy
we've
what?
got nativephp.com/ oh, actually, I don't have to go there. I can go to, should be just in articles or blog.
Right.
There it is.
So what do we write as the tweet and the things that I post out everywhere about this now?
I like saying it's the biggest performance leap yet, because I fully believe that it is. I know
full
that
capitals. This is the biggest performance per
the single biggest performance update we've ever shipped.
Yeah.
We're talking 10x faster response times, background job processing, Android 8 plus support, full ICU, iOS 8.3 to 8.5 automatic version matching, binary caching, and a lot more. Yeah. Yep.
Race car.
And then we've got I'll just put a link. I'll announce a link in our Discord as an announcement.
NativePHP for mobile version 3.1.
Uh-oh, they were watching. Everyone's watching. Vince was the first one. I knew it. He was waiting because I'm sharing my screen. I'll fire emoji it too. If you don't like your own stuff, if you don't heart your own stuff on Twitter, why should anyone else? That's my philosophy. So people are like, you like your own stuff? The people in my head are like, you like your own stuff? Like, yeah, I like my own stuff. That's why I posted it.
I love my stuff. That's why I look at it in the mirror. No. I was told that the algorithm will hold you back for liking your own stuff.
I do it on every single thing I do, even comments.
So that's nonsense then, isn't it?
Yep. Otis said, thanks guys, looking good now. Just tuned in and scrubbed through the earlier parts of the stream. We'll supply a bit more info if I run into anything next time. Thanks, Otis.
Smaller binaries, ICU for iOS. What else? What's the kind of other? Oh, PHP 8.5
and 8.3,
3 and 8.5 support. ICU, Android, Oreo Plus.
And I'll say a couple other things about that. There was something else too that I was like, oh, actually, yeah, dude, we didn't even, it's not even or anything, but I was thinking about it. We also reduced the binary size for both iOS and Android.
Yeah,
even
I said
without ICU.
I've got that under here. Smaller binaries.
Oh, okay.
Yep. ICU. Yeah, like I'm not going to mention everything in this, but sure. Yeah,
so
that was a really, like, I tried to get that out of you the other day, and I was like, this feels really big. Like we've somehow managed to squeeze all of the binaries even smaller.
Yep.
And we've got the ICU binaries even smaller. So like the total with ICU is now for both under 30 megs, right?
I know exactly what it is. So it was on Android.
Of course you do.
It was around 30 megs. It was like 37 megabytes for Android with ICU. It is now 17 megabytes Android with ICU. And it never existed for iOS, but we're at 28 megabytes with ICU for iOS. So that's all the binary, everything with ICU is at 28 megabytes, where before we were over 30 megabytes without ICU. So I think it's 22 for the binary zip for iOS now. I think that's right. Or it was over 30 before. Yeah. So we shrunk that down quite a bit. Yeah. All right. Now I can go to sleep.
Nah.
I got to take Carson to school. Carson overslept this morning. Carson's still here like, come on. Like, hey, you overslept, dude. I got work to do.
You have to, before you do that, I'm posting in all the places, which means not just you, but you have to go and repost, like, all of that.
Please. We made this thing free. This is all we're doing it all for the likes and the shares, you guys. That's what we're doing it for. We need more and more people using this thing. So tell the world, please. If you think you only have 7 followers on Twitter and your tweets don't matter, I've been there, I've done that. It does matter, because we'll repost it and we will retweet it and we'll share it around, and more people will see that more people are using and loving the work we're doing. I do have a demo. You want a demo?
You got time for a demo? Love a demo.
Okay, let's go. Actually, let me launch my emulator up first.
New post. Bam. Well, I'm missing one. I don't think so. Switch. Thumbs up.
All right, demo. So I did a talk yesterday for the Laravel Dutch Foundation. And I put this little demo together for that. All right, this is my emulator booting up. So I'm going to demo a couple things here. Number one, this is just Android. I could show Filament working on iOS. That's fine too. We could do that if you want. But in our config now, we have you can switch to classic mode if you want to, or you can keep persistent PHP. And I wanted to show people the difference between the two. And it's a little bit slow initially anyway, especially I'm sharing my screen and there's like, the memory and whatever. So let me boot that one up, and then I'm going to boot up the other one. I don't know which one that is. This one is classic. This one is persistent. Okay.
Can we get them side by side?
No, because
that sucks.
It's in one. No, but that's okay. Watch. You'll see the difference. This is classic. Okay. And I'm just going to navigate to video. I want to 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh,
3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, click. Okay. That's classic. This is persistent. 3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, click.
Moly. That is fast.
And then the demo that I did the video for, if you just want to see that. So if we just sleep, right? So this is just like kicking that off. If I'm navigating away, the UI thread is hung, so we can't do anything until that's done. But if I queue that sleep, I push that job to the queue. That job has the toast function that's going to show up now. So that was all happening. It did a sleep for 5 seconds on the queue and then did the toast. And that's the demo of that. If you didn't see the video, you probably saw the video because it went pretty big on Twitter. But yep, queue the sleep, go do whatever it is that you want to do. So it's like queuing just a job in the background, and then it just pops up whenever it's done. There you go. You have background, threading, separate thread for background queue.
I love
There's
that.
the demo.
That's going to be so, like, imagine people now leveraging that through plugin code, you know, where you've written some PHP code that just relies upon the Laravel queue, and you can reliably in your plugin make behavior happen on the background thread. That's amazing. There's so many cool things that are going to come from all of this.
An event if the app is backgrounded too.
Yeah.
Oh, even
we can
if.
do that.
Actually, I believe what happens is that it backgrounds that thread as well. I think it pauses that. That's what I think happens. So actually,
yeah.
Well, it also will. Yeah, it's surviving. Actually, you're right. I'll demo that too. So this is pretty cool. I think this is really cool, actually. So go back to my window here. All right. So if I push a job to the queue and then I close the app, close it, what happens there? Well, we're using the database queue driver. So that is a job that's not done working in the database. So if I open the app back up, it's going to detect that when we start the queue work once, sleep, whatever. You wait that 5 seconds, and I'm not touching anything here. Boom. So it just resumes that job that was there, right? It's freaking awesome. And then if you background the app, I think it's the same behavior. So we're just like click outside of it. And I'll wait like 10 seconds or something. We'll wait, some time. And I believe what will happen, we'll go back in, we'll wait the 5 seconds, and it will pop back up. That's what I think will happen. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. Oh, that seemed like it didn't. That seems like it was still working. I want to see that, actually. That's what I would prefer, but all right. So queue for 5 seconds. Now we're going to count for a while. I think what actually happened, that'd be interesting. I think that the job is done. I think it actually executed, possibly. I want to test this a little bit more. I think it executed, and it showed the toast on the screen, but the screen held on to that. And so when we open this back up, it's going to have that toast there, and the job's already done. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So it's like been lodged in the preview.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's like, when you put an app in the background, it will like sort of freeze the screen, and it will get occasional updates of the view if anything's happening, but it's not going to be real time. And so what you're saying is like it changed, and then when we open it up again, it goes, oh, this was the state of the screen whilst we were sort of in this sleepy mode. So let's bring that back, and then it's just a toast that's ready to fade away.
Yep. So, yep, that's cool. And, we'll make an announcement that I think you're comfortable with, Simon.
Tell me what it is, but like just announce it. I'll find out in a minute.
Simon is having a baby, guys. I didn't want to spoil. He's too British to say it himself, but
it's mostly
beer.
Yeah, and pizza.
Beer and pizza. So I have also worked on and got 90 or so percent. It's probably actually done, but I want to go back and polish it up. A plugin that will probably release next week, which is background tasks. It will be a premium plugin. It'll be a first party plugin, which means we're going to include it in the bundle. So if you already have the bundle, you'll get it for free. If you don't already have the bundle, the plugin bundle, go get the plugin bundle, because that's where we're going to put all of our first party packages. So you may as well. It's just going to increase in value over time. That's what we've been saying, and I've been working on this one. Background tasks is the following. They differ on Android and on iOS, but essentially, and actually there's some work there that we need to do, but essentially what it is I've tapped into the Laravel scheduler. So if you go into your routes console.php, you can add jobs in there that are like on a schedule every 15 minutes, once a day or twice a day or whatever. On Android, I thought hang on, someone was calling me in my do not disturb.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So on Android, if you have, so what happens is when you first open the app, we look at your scheduler and we parse through the jobs that you have scheduled. We create like a JSON file in the back end and we pass that data to Work Manager. Work Manager is what persists active jobs. It's like a cron worker. It's like supervisor, right? It's kind of like supervisor on Android. So we pass the information into it and we say, okay, every 15 minutes, you want to do this. And twice a day at 6 o'clock at AM and 6 o'clock PM, you want to do this job. And those are just like console commands inside of Android. We just fire that. The tricky part for that was not binding into Work Manager, but when Work Manager wakes up and says, fire this action, booting PHP from the background. That was a tricky thing. That was the hard part for all of that. So like the rest of everything else is just kind of like, how do you want to interface with it? So we are working on, so you can say like schedule some command every 15 minutes on Wi-Fi or on cellular or while charging or like all of these things that you can just tap into. All of it's done, guys. It's been tested Android and iOS. I just it's been like a week and a half that I haven't looked at. I want to go back through, and I do want to think iOS doesn't allow you to do this with the app completely closed, but I've seen other apps do it, and I want to be able to tap into like how are other apps doing this and tie that into the same process.
It does allow it, but it's very, very constrained. Like you basically tell the system, I kind of maybe want to do this at some point, and it might do it.
Well,
it's not going to be like
that
every 15 minutes or whatever.
The other thing is no, well, we'll talk about this repair. Hang on a second. That's a separate thing. The other thing is iOS restricts you to like it has to complete in like 10 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like you can't have like a huge thing
there's
going on.
There's
right?
two types of full background jobs that you can do. One is like just a quick refresh, just like refresh the state of your application from the server, which shouldn't do any work at all, and it's supposed to be like 5 seconds. And then you can ask for like a longer job, and it can take more time, but it still can't take like minutes and minutes. It's like 30 seconds or something. And those, like, it's meant for a little bit heavier work, like a syncing job, you know, so you get notified from the previous update to do some heavier work. And it's just like there are things there that you can do with Android that you just wouldn't be able to do on iOS, like saying I want to do this when it's on power or when it's on Wi-Fi or when it's on cellular. It's like the system will tell you when it can run your job.
Well, you can still pass in those constraints and they will honor those constraints, but they don't guarantee to fire at the right time. There are two different ways to do that. There's a process scheduler and a task scheduler or something like that. There is one where it can guarantee it. So we're going to Japan in a couple months, right? I installed this app the other day to like learn Japanese, and like during the onboarding, it was like, you know, we want to send you reminders once a day. What's a good time of day? And I'm like, evening, 6 to 9. The next day at 6 on the dot, that app was completely closed. I got the notification, and I don't think it was a push notification because it happened on the dot at 6.
That could be a push notification still.
It could be. Yeah. From my experience, push notifications, they get queued to fire, but they don't ever fire exactly that. Like it takes a couple minutes to process through. They're usually like happening on some queue server someplace that's like, all right, by 6:01 or 6:02, you probably got it, but not necessarily. I mean, you don't know what kind of mechanism they were using.
I mean, whenever we've been testing push notifications for ourselves, I think they come through usually within like 30 seconds.
Not if they're on a broadcast though. If you're broadcasting to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, but what you're talking about isn't a broadcast. It's a push notification to you. It would be because it's your preference.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But I agree with you. I think there's definitely a way to do it, because there are tools that do stuff like that. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a combination of a silent push notification that triggers the app to load and then do a local notification or something. You know, it's like, that sounds crazy doing it that way, but the things that would trigger behavior that you want, you know, and depends on the constraints of your business logic as well. Like if you don't have a server and you don't have any of this stuff in the cloud and you're not using push notifications, you still want to achieve some of these things because it's just set on somebody's device. There's got to be a way to do that.
Yep. So there's going to be some more exploration. The thing is, I've cracked a lot of that. Like the persistent PHP and that's one of the tweets I fired off the other day. Like, I can't wait to tell you guys what this means. It's hard it's hard on Android. It's easy. You can see all the cat log cat, whatever, inside of Android Studio as you're doing things. It's just very easy to see what's going on behind the scenes. You can also just like ADB shell into the application and look at files written or logs updated. It's very simple. On iOS, you don't have that nicety, but I found this thing called LLDB. Like you pause your whatchamacallit, and you can run these commands that will do different things, querying, looking at stuff, whatever. So what I had done was I had a job that, or it was scheduled, but you can trigger that action to happen. So you can like signal to the device, run that job now. Like, don't wait 15 minutes because that would have been I still would be trying to monkey with it, I think. But you just say, hey, go run that task now. Just imagine that the 15 minutes has passed and you ran it. I wanted to make sure that it was booting PHP, writing the file. So that's the job. What the job was doing was, or the command was doing, was writing a file that just says the timestamp of when it ran. And so I would boot the app. I would background the app, not close it, but background it. I would run the command to trigger it. And by the time I got it, it ran. And then I could say, okay, another command to query, is that file there? And it's like, what are the contents of that file? And then it gave it to me like binary or something weird, or like hex, whatever. And I was like, decode that. And then it showed me the timestamp of what was in that file. So that all happened from kicking that off. So again, there's like the constraint stuff in the iOS, and it's going to need to be well documented so people have the right understanding and expectations of how it's going to work. These things are kind of out of our hands. We're just trying to make the nice interface and set the expectations for the user, so that we can do stuff. And I do want to do like a local like notification plugin as well. Yeah. And then combining the two would be badass. Like, you know, I want to see this every day at 5 p.m. I got this thing happening, whatever it is. Yeah. So that's that. What an interesting live stream today. I have to take my son to school.
There's something we forgot in all of it. I'm just reading through the blog post and I'm like, where do we mention that it's got Laravel 13 support?
No, because I just chucked that in the other day. Yesterday, the day before.
No, it doesn't. It does.
No, I
it
didn't
does
put
support
it in.
Laravel 13.
No, I didn't put it in the thing.
Yeah,
because I wrote the article before. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's fine. We can update the article.
Yep. That's one of the things that people will only notice if it doesn't work.
Yeah. So we had that yesterday.
Right.
Because somebody was like, Laravel 13's out. I want to use this now. Like, come on, give me a second.
Yep.
So did I update the thing? Good now, just to yeah. So the fix that we applied to Bifrost is working. I want to talk. I know this is completely different, but I've got my head into Bifrost again now. So I'm like, one of the little, this very little issue, but I think it's cool. You know, in cloud, when you go and look at your EMV, it's got the little like reveal thing.
Yep.
I've done it. It's live.
All right. Nice. Good job. It's not just that too. It's we should have like our defaults, because everybody like just kind of copies and pastes their own env into it. Like they just copy their whole local env and then maybe change a couple things. But we should have our defaults in there as well that can be overridden. Some you can't override because we constrain those intentionally so that things work properly. But there's some that you absolutely can override. But they're set, they're defaults, or we set those defaults. So like we shouldn't, not everybody should have to go in and change their env now that we do this to what is it, Q worker, whatever database. That should be set by default for them.
No, like that makes a lot of sense because the environment's very, like, you're not in control of the environment. It's a known space. You shouldn't be given that level of flexibility over some of those things. Yeah, it'll be interesting when more and more people are using this and using Bifrost to build stuff, and they're bumping into like, why can't, I set this here and it's not working or whatever. But we can head some of that off, as you say, by actually showing like, here are the defaults. Yeah.
Which is what, I mean, that's what Cloud does. It's got the section of defaults. And then if you override them, it says you're overriding this thing just so and I like that mechanism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, dude, I'm going to go. I gotta take my son to school.
Should I post this on Reddit?
Yeah. Dare I say, fuck yeah. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Why not? What's wrong with posting on Reddit?
Nothing.
I wish I could post on Reddit. I was probably a good thing I don't, because I would end up like on Jerry Springer style like arguments with people. I love how people think like PHP is a bad idea and then they go and use JavaScript for native code. PHP is like C under the like it's a I'm sorry, I thought iOS and Android were like Unix based. Right? My bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't know.
I think the thing that, well, the people, I'll say people, the people
who knows
on Reddit,
what they are.
Yeah, the people on Reddit is they seemingly don't like seeing things over and over and over again, but that's at odds with the purpose of Reddit. Like, unfortunately, Reddit is just a massive advertising platform, in case you hadn't noticed. And that is how they make their money. So they actively need people to do the kind of thing that we're doing, which is constantly promoting things that brings us like value. Because if we don't, then we're not going to go there and they're not going to get any money. So like, if you want Reddit to continue to exist, you have to accept the fact that people got to go there and post about the stuff that they care about, with the aim of it turning into some value for them. And that, like, the simple fact of it is, you have to keep on repeating yourself, and that means you have to go there and not say the exact same thing over and over again, but you have to keep on sharing updates about stuff. And it's like, there is no subreddit for native PHP, and it wouldn't even make sense to have one. We play in 3 or 4 other spaces like iOS, Android, Laravel, PHP. The Laravel one is about the best one that we can put our stuff in, because people actually kind of care about it a little bit there. If we try and post it in any of the iOS ones, it'll get shot down because it's using PHP. If we post in the Android ones, it'll get shot down because it's using PHP.
What do you mean?
You
what
post
do you mean
it in the
by
PHP one. Basically, it's like they only want to talk about the accepted and blessed by large
Swift
organizations.
Yeah.
So it's
even
like
React Native wouldn't.
Exactly. Even those will get some hate, but it's just like, I was going to say though, the joke was, you kind of jumped in before my punchline, that when we post in the PHP one, it gets hated on because it uses PHP. It's just like, what is wrong with this place? It's full of turds, basically.
To me, it's
sorry.
like, I don't know
Yeah.
what your equivalent is in overseas any place, but here we have like the National Enquirer or the Star, whatever it is, like the tabloids of,
Yeah,
you know,
the
when you see
Daily
like all the
Mail.
celebrity scandals stuff is like, that's Reddit. That's what I think Reddit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
I
it's
said
good when it goes. It's good, and like we'll get. So now it's posted, and maybe it'll get downvoted to hell because I posted something last week.
I'm gonna
but-
downvote it.
Yeah,
I think you'll get more attention if it's downvoted, actually.
No, it buries it. That's the problem.
Let's see. r/Laravel. Oh, then I'll upvote it. Where is it? Hey, there it is. Someone else already. Oh, because it gives you one by default.
We got 2.
That's
We're
me.
on the
It's
up,
you
baby.
and me. It's you and me.
That's a good start. I
Yeah.
like it.
We
All
should-
right. Well, yeah. Go on. What were you
I was gonna say we
sorry.
could put a link to the Reddit on X. Talk about getting buried. I bet.
Oh dear.
X
No,
hates
like
that.
that's
They'll,
one of the worst things.
Yeah.
There's such a the thing with on the Reddit community is if you post anything that's on Twitter, if you link to a tweet, even in like a comment, they'll be like, why are you linking to that Musk blah blah blah, you know, like this evil place full of dirt. I'm like, you guys need to look in the mirror a bit more often.
That's what it is.
All of the online communities are absolute mess. Just
all right.
I hate it, but it's
I want to
good
go
for promoting.
I really should. I need to get my son to school. He's late.
Any plans to support Android TV?
It's already done. Why? Who's asked that? Like,
somebody on Twitter.
Yeah, I told him. I responded already to him. Was that? Is it a different post?
No, it's a different. It might be by the same person, but they're just asking it repeatedly on different things.
Whatever.
It's like
it's not that we support it; it's that it works, and it just works. I mean, at least like the app will boot, but build a plugin, dude. Like you can do anything. Go for it. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Talk to you later. I'll let you know when I get back. It won't be long. Give me a half hour.
3, 1. 1 is out.
Oh, we should have done it on like March 1st.
We could. Yeah, I don't have a time machine.
Next year. All right. Bye. See you guys.
Bye.